Hello and welcome. Now we are starting this news bulletin with some breaking news coming in from Sri Lanka. The country has announced that it is defaulting on all its external debt. This comes after Sri Lanka on Tuesday suspended foreign debt payments to avoid a hard default, since its limited foreign reserves are required for imports of essential items like food and fuel. Now let's go across to WION correspondent Dasuni Atoda for the latest on this. Hello to you, Dasuni. Take us through this decision now by the country defaulting on its external debt.
Yes, hello, good morning, or rather good afternoon. Yes, according to the CBSL governor, this move has now been worded as a preemptive negotiated default, which means over the past few months, we've been discussing on an inevitable disorderly default where Sri Lanka will be defaulting on its debt obligations. However, this seems like that the new CBSL governor sort of has accepted the reality as opposed to the previous one and has come to terms with the fact that, yes, Sri Lanka might not be able to secure these payments and make these payments on time. So this is sort of Sri Lanka's finance ministry's intention to negotiate and engage in discussions on how best we can look at defaulting and debt servicing.
Right, and Dasuni, what are the impacts then in terms of purchasing power for the essential items like food and fuel for Sri Lankans?
Well, the situation largely still does remain the same. We've been reporting on this for months on end now, and it did take quite a tragic turn given the fact that even yesterday we did see a death owing to an individual standing in a fuel queue. So the deaths have now sort of risen up to 8, and there has been no reduction in sight in terms of queues for fuel as well as gas.
Right, and on the protest front, we have seen demonstrations against the Rajapaksa government. Take us through the latest there.
Absolutely, yes. I think for the first time in Sri Lanka's recent history, we've been having continuous protests at one set location, which is now sort of turned out to be a pretty normal sight here in Colombo, where the premises surrounding the presidential secretariat have now been swarmed with protesters who have braved the weather, who've braved the rain, cold nights, but they've still stood their ground and are making sure that their voice is heard and that their intention to remove the Rajapaksa-led government is still the same. And it's been more than a week, actually, since the protest started here in Colombo, and it surely is picking up momentum and a lot of attention, not only here in Sri Lanka, but also across the world, more specifically the protests that are currently happening at the Gulf-based premises.
Dasuni, thank you very much for joining us with all the latest that is coming out of Sri Lanka with the latest announcement on the default on all its external debts.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.